Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 149. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this hygienic Wednesday evening, Earth date April 4th, 2018. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me, as always, my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
Hello, Remington.
Bring the energy.
I'm trying.
Doing the coke.
I'm trying to bring the energy, even though I've been sitting in this goddamn chair for like an hour and a half.
8 balls. I'm sorry.
Ready to go.
I was working on things.
Waiting for you to finish whatever you were doing.
I streamed last night. I don't have time to do the stories and stream.
You spent 5 minutes on stories. The rest of the time was you texting boys.
Listen, those boys need those texts. They need them, Brandon. They need them so they know that I still love them.
What's in the texts?
Penis pics.
Oh, why were you typing so much? Were they ASCII penis?
Yes. Yes.
Semicolon, 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 slash, 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 slash. They're going to be so hard when they see this picture. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. God, because you use speech to text, which is the most maddening thing in the world.
Why?
I don't know. It's just the amount of time. You're not saving that much time, I feel like.
Versus typing?
When you're holding your phone and you're like, I'll get back to you, comma, later on, period. LOL. Which, it's in the outtakes, but saying LOL but not laughing is completely disingenuous.
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there, but...
I mean, I disagree with you.
It really made me rethink a lot of times when you've said LOL to me in chat.
Listen, I always laugh at everything you say, Brandon.
Yeah, but you're saying LOL. So you're not actually laughing out loud. You're just saying LOL.
Well, not for everybody, but for you, I have trained myself to laugh at everything that you say.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's why we're good friends.
Exactly.
Because you know I need that constant validation. Inside you're crying. You're like, Brandon made joke. Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, God, not again.
Every time before I come over, you're just staring in the mirror and you're like, you could do this, you piece of shit. I hate you.
Swear to God, he will be funny this time.
LOL.
LOL.
Period.
LOL. Oh, shit. So yes, ASCII penises aside, what have you been up to?
I've been playing Far Cry 5.
Oh, yeah?
I've been putting quite a bit of time into it.
So we talked a little bit about it last night. How much further are you along now?
There's a lot of side quest stuff you can do. So I've been taking my time. I've been meandering because I'll play in like hour chunks. I'm not sitting down for big long marathons like I used to be able to do. I just don't have time anymore.
Right.
So I'll do a story mission and then I'll run around and just kind of do some liberating of stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Even though it is side mission heavy, I mean, it seems like there's still a lot of action going on, though.
Oh, yeah, it's constant action.
Okay, that's good.
I hit a glitch last night, which was irritating. You get some stuff happens, and then you have to break free from, like, a jail, basically.
Okay.
And somebody breaks you free, and then you have to take a bunch of points, like a bunch of rally points you have to take over from the enemy.
Right.
So you'll empty one out, and then it'll be like, okay, now you got to get to the next point. Kind of a prison escape sort of deal. Well, I cleared out the first point, and then nobody would follow me anywhere.
Oh.
So I was stuck on this one point. So I lost probably half an hour of progress that next time I go back to play it, I'll have to redo.
That sucks.
And hopefully I didn't hit a persistent glitch because that would suck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the place that I had to overtake was like an overhang on like an overpass, basically. And I walked up the side, there's stairs that go up, and I was just throwing dead bodies off of the overpass onto the highway after I killed everybody, trying to trigger something.
Yeah.
And could do nothing. So I spent probably 10 minutes just defiling corpses for
just
absolutely
chucking bodies.
For no reason. Like, I was picking them up, dragging them up the stairs. You move slowly like you're carrying a body.
Well, yeah.
Just to throw them over the edge again, seeing if anything would trigger. Nothing would.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Although it paints a good visual of you just walking upstairs.
Just like... Because you have people with you, so I imagine them all just watching me one by one, like they're waiting for whatever thing I'm supposed to do, like hit a button on a keyboard or open something I don't know about.
Right.
And so they just watch me, like you said, whistling as I take each body up the flight of stairs and then throw it the 2 stories down to the concrete below.
So I just got 2 of the necessary parts that I need for my computer.
Yeah, your computer's going to be built soon, right?
Yeah, I'm looking to build it over possibly the weekend. So I committed to a stream schedule Tuesday and Wednesday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern, on twitch.tv/Dueling Ogres. Plug.
Yeah, just right at the beginning, plug it.
Yeah.
Always be plugging.
Always be plugging.
ABP.
PMA, Positive Mental Attitude, borrowed from Jacksepticeye. ABP.
PMA,
ABP.
PMA, ABP.
Pamabab.
Pamabab. That's an extra. I think you're putting an extra buh in there.
Well, that's because I stutter a lot.
Pamabab.
But anyway, I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought the other parts that I needed for my computer. And I'm really excited to put it together. And what I was going to say was I try to do, if I can, a quick stream on Saturday, just like a bonus stream.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've decided to dub it, is a bonus stream. But it's up in the air. I could either do it or not. But I think I will not do it so I can build the computer. And Mediocre, who is in our Discord and is also one of the guys that I've been talking to about the whole Twitch thing, he was wanting me to stream it live online.
Yeah.
And I would love to, except for the fact that the case that I'm going to be putting all these new parts in is the same case that all of the old parts are in.
So there's really not a way to do it.
Yeah, so I can't exactly... I mean, I could run the board out of a case, but I feel like that's... I don't have a test bench. I don't have a proper test bench. So I don't want to just run me doing it on a box with my motherboard free and clear in front of the whole world to see naked, not covered in a case, you know?
I mean, it would be cool for you to stream your PC building, but at the same time, I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah.
If it were me, I wouldn't risk it like that. But then again, I know fuck all about computers, really.
Don't you work on them?
Yeah. That's the secret, though, Remington.
You just got
Google.
Fuck all.
Google, why is computer bad?
Google, computer no work. Help fix. Need hammer. Send hammer. I need a metal hammer.
Going back to the Diablo quotes?
Yep. I need a metal headpiece. Help!
We could just do that. I don't know why we bother with stories. I could listen to you do that all day.
Stay a while and listen.
It's perfect.
Oh, you.
Oh, man.
All one Diablo fan is like really excited.
They
right
got
now.
a good LOL out of that. They're listening right now and they just went LOL.
Just in the comments, they just typed in LOL, but they didn't really laugh.
No,
it was all a lie.
It was like a.
That's a passable.
That's a reference.
That's a passable Deckard game.
Is it like it's like Ready Player One?
Yeah.
It's a reference for reference's sake.
Right?
It's like stay a while and listen. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was the thing that happened.
Yeah,
you remember?
DuckTales. Woo! Remember that?
Life is like a hurricane, man.
DuckTales. Ready Player One is getting some pretty good press.
Yeah, I've seen that the reviews and some of the people that we follow on our social medias have said that it's some really good fan service.
Yeah, I've heard that it's nothing like the book.
Oh yeah?
That if you go in expecting to see scenes from the book in the movie, you're going to be disappointed.
Ah, I see.
One of the things I was looking forward to seeing the most when I see the movie is not in the movie, and that's disappointing.
So what was that?
This is spoilers for the book.
Okay.
but it's pretty early on, so whatever. The book's been out for a couple years now. If you didn't read it, fuck yourself.
Wow.
He's
escalated quickly.
He goes to find the keys. There's 3 keys or 5 keys, however many keys there are. And
he's got to get some fucking keys.
He's got to get keys. What are you going to do? He goes to a school planet because everybody goes to school inside of the Oasis because the Oasis is free to anybody. So all public schools take place there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He notices in looking at the map of his school, because it's an entire planet and there's a school and there's just carbon copies of the schools all over the planet. So you have so many kids that go to one school and then so many that go to another school, but they're all built exactly the same. They all have the same name.
Right.
He notices, just happens to, in the woods around his school, when he zooms in, there's a skull there.
Okay.
So he goes to it, and the skull is a perfect reproduction of the Tomb of Horrors from D&D.
Yeah.
So it describes him as he goes through the Tomb of Horrors and has to beat all of the traps, and he gets to the very end where the Lich is.
Yeah.
And he has to play the Lich at a game of Joust. And beat the Lich at a game of Joust to get the first key.
I see.
So I was really looking forward to this scene of him going through the Tomb of Horrors and kind of dodging stuff. And, you know, it'd be quick, obviously. You couldn't stretch it out. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's just it. I mean, seems like to do something like that justice, you'd have to straight up just put the whole thing in there.
Yeah.
Or leave it out entirely.
Or even have him walk in, have the first room, he solves the trap, then do like a fade, and then you see him walking into the final room, and you see like through the door behind him like flames going off and spikes shooting, like he's managed to figure out all these traps and dodged it.
Right.
Like he wiped some dust off his face or something. I don't know.
Some bullshit like that.
I don't know. I'm not a director.
Some action bullshit.
But no, instead they replaced it with a giant race.
Yeah.
If you see the trailers, there's like, looks like a race happening.
Yeah.
That's how they get the first key, is it's a race.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that they cut out your favorite part, but to be fair,
disappointing.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of people thought that was a lot of D&D nerds are disappointed by that. But at the same time, there's only so much you can do, I feel like, action-wise with traps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he would have solved them.
Yeah.
Because if the traps deal lethal damage and he's a level 1 character, as it were.
Right.
Like, he's never had money to go off on adventures or anything. So he has the base amount of hit points you can have. So 1 or 2 traps is just going to kill him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then you have so many days before you can respawn again. And also, I don't know how they would make it interesting to watch him and a Lich play Joust.
Yeah.
Are they just going to throw the Joust match up on screen and have you sit for 5 minutes and watch a game of Joust? Because that would be awesome, and I would go see the movie today.
Right. I mean, or it would be like VR Joust where you'd have to... Oh, yeah, you could be riding on the ostriches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
See, we're doing the same thing Ready Player One does.
Yeah.
Remember Joust?
Remember Joust? And
what if you rode on them? They're ostriches.
Yeah, it'd be cool, guy.
I mean, it sounds like just word salad, though, when I say he goes through the Tomb of Horrors and meets the Lich and has to beat him in a game of Joust.
Well, I mean, you have told me yourself that that's basically all Ready Player One is.
That's what it is.
It's like a loosely based plot so this guy could drop in just a million fucking cultural references.
I'm so torn on it, though, because I'm seeing a lot of reviews of people saying, like, oh, it's just nostalgia, milking nostalgia for nostalgia's sake.
Jerking off nostalgia.
Which is exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
But now that I see other people say it, I'm like, I mean, it's not that bad. So I don't even know what I am or why I do.
That's just the inborn Brandon wanting to fight everything that he hears.
It's almost become hip to hate Ready Player One now.
Yeah.
I was doing it before it was cool.
And now you're on the other camp. You're like, well, everybody hates it, so I can't hate it.
I didn't hate Ready Player One. I read the book and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's overrated. I still kind of feel like it's overrated.
Yeah. And I mean, I can see where you're coming from. You have to really kind of throw yourself into the fan service of it all.
Yeah.
And just suspend that it may or may not actually be a decent storyline. You know, I haven't read the book. I have it now. I own it. I have not had time to read it. I just don't sit down and read anymore.
I mean, the storyline's not that good.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Like, if we're looking at it.
The storyline is in service of the references.
Yeah.
But speaking of, Ernest Cline has another book called Armada.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I just happened to see that is being optioned into a movie as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So Ernest Cline is doing pretty well for himself.
So
he
if
can
anybody...
make references all day now with the millions of dollars he's getting paid.
Right. So if anybody has anybody listening who has read Armada, if you want to give us like a quick synopsis in the comments below.
Yeah. Write it long enough that we can publish it as an article.
Yeah, do that.
Do our work for us.
Yeah, do it. Kevin wants to know if we had seen the Netflix movie The Titans.
No.
Neither have I. It's got my morality going back and forth, throwing my moral compass all out of whack. So, I don't know. Apparently, it's morally ambiguous.
Oh.
Never heard of it?
I haven't even heard of it, yeah.
Yep. So, no, Kevin, we haven't.
Sorry.
Boom. We're not even going to answer you in the group chat.
Our one interaction with him.
You just have to wait. You have to wait until the podcast comes out.
And then not listen to it.
And then not listen. He listens. Sometimes it takes him a while, but he listens.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He usually watches it on YouTube once it comes out.
Huh.
Well, quote unquote watches.
While he's playing Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you talked about your stuff. I talked about the computer. Otherwise, just streaming and working and getting swamped with that. Getting behind on putting the videos out, because I like to put the videos out as well on the website, but I've gotten behind on just editing them.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm tired lately.
Well, you're doing a lot.
I am. I don't know how I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing, which I guess is that point of saturation where people get, I don't know, I've never been here before. Do people do so many things that they're just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing anymore?
I guess.
And they just keep doing it?
I do very little. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I work 8 hours and I'm like, whoa, man.
I put in a day. It's time for me to go home.
I've done everything.
I've done my time for the day. I've done my living.
I mean, you're working, what, 10 hours, 12 hours sometimes?
Yeah, 10 hours a day, except for Sundays. So I put in 46 hours of work a week. You know, it used to be back in the day, I'd put in probably 6 hours into the podcast. Now it's more like 3 hours. And then I'm doing 2 nights a week streaming, and I'm shooting for 4 hours of streaming a night.
Okay.
So 8 hours of streaming over 2 days. So really, I'm putting in 57 hours of work on Dueling Ogres related things. Well, and work.
Yeah.
Combined.
And then you edit the streams down into 2-hour chunks?
Yeah, I try to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends. I haven't committed myself to having a break yet. I need to put up a timer or something so I can take a break. That way I'll have like a definite place to cut.
Yeah.
You know? So, and the streams themselves, they run for about 4 hours, but there's about 15 or 20 minutes that I clip off of the front, usually. So it's like
when
3
you first
hours.
Get started?
Yeah, so it's like 3 hours, 45 minutes or so. Because I'll usually just throw up the stream and let it sit for a minute while I get everything in order.
Yeah, I noticed that whenever it'll pop up, because, I mean, I'm asleep most of the time by 12:30 anymore.
Yeah.
And I'll see it pop up at like 11:15. Dueling Ogres has started Twitch streaming, so I'll be like, ooh, I'll jump in and then see that it's just the loading screen.
Yeah. And it's mostly just to let people know that I've gone live, and I put it out on the social medias, and then let whoever's going to come in, and then I go.
Yeah.
So I only have a couple of people, although I had a really good chat room last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had Mediocre come in, and then who we talked about, and then Nikki, who lives around here. She lives around here, and she occasionally streams. I'll not give her a shout out because I don't know how she feels about names versus her online name and what have you. So I don't want to drop the bomb on it. It's different I feel like it's different with guys. Like, I don't feel like it's a huge, terrible thing necessarily unless you're really big to share your real name versus your stream name if you're a guy. But with all the harassment and stuff that still happens to this day, I don't feel like it's appropriate to associate. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's safe to assume anybody you don't really know, though, whether you want to give first and last name. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we even have like Mumphrey separates himself from his name as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And you remember when we interviewed the Gentleman's Sword D&D streamers?
Yeah.
They didn't want us to give last names.
Right. Well, not even the last names, but like associating their first name with their her online tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to watch that stuff.
See, I made the mistake of making my Twitch name just my name.
Yeah, the full Brandon.
Yeah.
Yep. So now you can follow the full Brandon, even though he doesn't stream.
Yeah, I do nothing on there except jump in chat rooms occasionally.
Exactly. But anyway, so she came on and she hosted our channel. So that means that she put it up on her stream so her viewers could come and check me out if they wanted.
Oh,
and
cool.
a couple of her followers came in and sat around and we talked, and I played a game called Dub Wars.
What was it?
It's a Galaga style. No, not. I wouldn't even say Galaga. I think it's more Asteroids style, where the ship is, you have control of the ship and move it around.
Okay.
And things are coming at you, but there are several different attacks that your ship has, but they're controlled by the music in the background. So it only fires when these dubstep style songs hit their beats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable to play. Pros and cons. Pros, it was a lot of fun to play. I got to hear some dubstep for 4 hours, which is not something fun. Not necessarily something I'd do, but having something to interact with, it was fine, you know. Con, you really have to throw yourself into the game and pay attention. So it was kind of hard to chit chat while I was
not a great chatting game.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to watch. You know, everybody stuck around until the end, so
cool.
It was pretty cool. I was excited. I think I've mentioned this before, but anybody who tends to lurk a lot in a stream, if you can make yourself be interactive with the stream, it makes streaming so much better, not just for you, but for the person that you're watching.
Yeah.
Because you get to interact and it's good to have a conversation. I mean, I feel like that's what a lot of people who are streaming, variety streaming, is looking for, is a conversation. So, yeah,
I was purposely staying silent to demonstrate
how awkward
it gets when somebody's not commenting.
Yeah, exactly.
The same goes for podcasts too.
Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah,
just
wink,
please, just comment.
Nudge, nudge.
Just fucking show us you're out there.
Aw.
Sad face. Semicolon parentheses.
Semicolon open parentheses.
Open bracket.
Yeah.
That's a vampire frowning.
So let's move on to stories. What do you got, Brandon?
You want me to go first?
I do.
So kids are snorting condoms, Remington.
What? Really?
No, it's a stupid story. I wanted to bring it up just because it's dumb.
Okay.
You see it on Facebook now. Condom snorting challenge. It's like the new Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
Kids are snorting condoms, and what they do is they snort a condom and then pull it out their throat.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's connected back there, right?
Yeah. The story's bullshit. People have been snorting condoms since time immemorial. Since condoms were a thing, circus freaks have been snorting condoms.
Yeah.
So you'll see pictures of teens with condoms hanging out of their noses. This was a story like 4 or 5 years ago. This is a thing that's been going on forever.
Yeah, it has. I mean...
So don't believe... This is my whole thing. I feel like these stories are out there right now to try to discredit the younger generation.
Yeah.
Who does a lot of stuff already to help discredit themselves.
Right.
Because every generation does a bunch of stupid shit. But I guarantee we're going to start seeing an influx of new stories. Tide Pod Challenge, snorting condoms. There's going to be the next big thing. There's always these scare tactic stories all the time of like, here's what teens are doing now. Here's what crazy thing kids are doing. They're licking fire ants. You know, shit like that.
Right, yeah.
So just don't believe it because it's bullshit.
Okay. I've never tried that either.
Snorting a condom?
Yeah.
Yeah, neither have I.
I don't see the reason aside from the freak out factor.
I always kind of wanted to snort a piece of spaghetti, but it can break off in your sinuses, so I never did.
Oh, like a cooked piece though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not an uncooked piece.
I mean, I guess if you get it al dente enough, I wouldn't be worried. But if you overcooked it, then yeah, I would say it could break off into your sinuses.
See, I like my pasta super squishy.
Yeah, then I wouldn't suggest snorting pasta that you have made.
I would love to be a circus freak.
Yeah?
I think it would be a lot of fun.
I mean, all it takes is training and work.
Yeah, I toyed with, for a while, seriously considered becoming a sword swallower.
Yeah?
But I just don't have the patience or time. Or work ethic or...
Gag reflex.
I would
half-ass it. Gag reflex.
I know I would half-ass it and I would end up stabbing myself.
Yeah. That would be cool, though. I mean, this is my friend Brandon Full. He's a sword swallower.
How? Just always have a sword in my mouth.
Yeah, just walking around.
Just pull it.
How now, ground cow. See, that would be cool. I mean, you'd be so much cooler of a friend.
I know. I don't really do anything that people like, hey, this is my friend Brandon. He does a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Him and fucking half of Parkersburg does a podcast. Hey, this is Brandon. He's a sword swallower. What?
What? I've never met a sword swallower in real life before. How do you do it? Is it magic?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. What would you do if you were in the circus? What would your thing be?
Bearded lady.
Fair enough.
Yep.
It's because of your vagina, isn't it?
Yeah. How did you know? I will say this about technology. My phone keeps kicking out my SIM card, and I don't know why. So that's cool.
It just keeps saying that it's not accepting it?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's happened twice now today.
Do you have to take it out and put it back in?
No, I just restart my phone.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not an error with your phone, like a software thing.
I hope not either. But it could be. Who knows? Maybe they'll push out an update and it'll fix it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or you just have to get an S9.
Get on it, Samsung. Make this shit happen.
Just buy an S9.
Yeah, I'll get on that too.
You have an extra $800.
Yeah. Just lying around.
Yeah.
All willy-nilly.
Just sell all your computer stuff.
Yeah. Just so I can have a tiny computer to hold in my hand.
I saw an iPhone X. I don't know if I told you this. I saw an iPhone X a while ago.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It looks like every other fucking iPhone.
Yeah, they're garbage. Garbage machines.
Yeah,
Get out with your
the
iPhones.
screen replacements on those are crazy expensive too,
What, like-
as you would expect.
Oh, yeah, like $400, I imagine?
More than that, like $500-$600.
Wow, that is insane.
Because it's new.
Yeah.
Just like the iPhone 6s, I remember when they first came out and the screen repairs were like $400.
Yeah.
And now a 6 screen repair, at least at the place that I work, is like 90, 81 or something crazy.
Oh, wow. That's really cheap.
Yeah, it's super cheap now.
Ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't have more phone news.
That's fine.
I'm not super prepared today. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize to listeners now. I came underprepared.
We came to bullshit, man. It's cool.
Came to bullshit and chew bubblegum. And we're all out of bubble shit.
Well, it's like I was kind of running stories by you, and I asked if you had seen something or another, and you're like, no, and I never have either. But that leads us to it. I'm just going to go ahead and drop it just because, I don't know. I like Rowan Atkinson.
Uh-huh.
For those of you who don't know Rowan Atkinson, why are you even listening to our podcast?
A lot of people don't know Rowan Atkinson.
I feel
don't
like
let Remington chase you away with his elitism. His misogynistic elitism.
Quit cutting me off.
Okay.
Most of the people who listen to our podcast would know, at least in passing, who Rowan Atkinson is.
Mm.
But Rowan Atkinson he is a British comedian who spent a lot of time on British TV. He had his own show, Mr. Bean. He had Blackadder.
Which is an amazing show.
Yeah. I have watched clips of it. I haven't sat and watched like full episodes, but I have watched clips and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But primarily Mr. Bean, I think, was his kind of claim to fame over in America.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also has a spy who is named Johnny English. And he's released a couple, I think 1 or 2 Johnny English movies over the years. Well, there is a new one coming out. So if you're a Johnny English fan, there is a trailer out for Johnny English.
There's been more than one Johnny English movie?
There might have only been one. This one's called Johnny English Strikes Again. So I think there was only one Johnny English. But anyway, it stars Rowan Atkinson. I have not seen the first one. Oh no, Johnny English 3 teaser trailer, so there has been 2.
I think Rowan Atkinson's big claim to fame, if you were to recognize his voice, and I had to double check to make sure this was right.
Okay.
He was Zazu in The Lion King.
Yes. Yes, he was. It's set to come out in the UK cinemas on October 12th. Don't know if we'll see it in the States. This is from an English website, express.co.uk.
So everything has an extra U in it when they spell it.
Yeah.
Honorable.
Yes. Everything has extra U's. And since we're on movie news, Kevin Hart has been fucking busy in movies, man. He is getting all kinds of work.
What is that, Night School?
This is Night School. So this is Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, and I will say this. I genuinely laughed out loud when I watched the trailer a couple times.
Okay.
Basically, it is a salesman. He's working a sales job. He's been like the number one salesman for months and months and months. He's good at reading people, and like he's selling grills. And I think it works in maybe like a department store or something like. Oh my God, English failing me today.
It's because you were reading that English website.
Yeah, that's why. I keep wanting to slip into a British accent.
Night School
With Kevin Hart.
Good Lord.
I say, old chap. But anyway, so he's a salesman, department store maybe, I don't know. Selling grills is the thing that they are showcasing him doing very well. He ends up proposing to his girlfriend in the store. They have a candlelit dinner or whatever, and he pops the cork on the champagne, and it hits the valve on the propane tank, knocking it off, and then the store explodes.
Okay.
So
that's what the movie's about.
So the premise is
his girlfriend?
No, they had walked outside for some reason or another, and he goes back, I assume, to get something, perhaps. They don't really cover that, but she's already outside. He gets blown away from the store and hits the car and like crashes into the windshield, making all kinds of crazy high-pitched Kevin Hart noises.
Yeah.
And as you do.
As he does.
Specifically. Yes. And he then has to recover from this setback. And because he's so good at sales, he's trying to get a job in something else that you can make a lot of money. I don't remember exactly what it is. Sorry.
Okay. So he has to go to night school for this? I'm wondering how the night school enters into this whole thing, Rem.
Right, hold on. I was trying to see if it said in the thing.
Oh, is it night school with a K?
No, it's not.
Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't say in the description here what job he's trying to go for, but he doesn't have a GED. So this is where night school comes in. He's trying to complete his GED so he can get onto this, I think it's a firm of some kind. Like stocks or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, he's trying to get on at this firm, but he can't because he doesn't have a GED.
So it's him sort of back in high school.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's him at odds with this night school teacher who is just doing it for the money, basically.
Is that who the
That is
angry
who,
cross-armed girl on the front is?
Yes, that's who Tiffany Haddish is playing, is the night school teacher.
So they're going to fall in love.
Well, I don't know. I mean, his girlfriend that he proposed to is pretty hot.
No, she's going to dump him. She's going to dump him and he's going to fall in love with the teacher.
I mean, that's pretty par for course as far as he goes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cookie cutter.
She's going to dump him because he exploded the place.
Maybe. I don't know. She seems to stay with him through that.
Oh, okay.
For a while. It doesn't reveal that they break up or anything.
That's fair. I guess I'm being overly judgmental about this. Because it just looks stupid to me and I don't find Kevin Hart funny.
Do you not?
No. He just says what's happening. Like I watched a thing where it was like Kevin Hart shit talks people and it's like one-on-one people and it's like this big tall dude and he's just like, yeah, you're a big guy, aren't you? And he just keeps commenting on how tall the guy is, but the audience, like the people around them, are laughing like it's the funniest thing in the world. And it's just the way he delivers the line, which I'm not going to try to emulate.
Fair. Here's the funniest thing about that is there is a principal at this school, a Caucasian principal, if you will, who keeps going into black voice. Like, you in my house now. He's like, did you just do black voice? He's like, I don't hear color. See, it's funny. The writing is good. I laughed several times throughout it.
Yeah, but he's just commenting.
True.
Did you just talk like a black person would talk?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Or no, I didn't. I don't hear color. He does it later in the trailer as well, and the night school teacher is like, did you just do black voice again? See, I'm doing black voice all over the place.
Is it black voice?
That's what they're calling it.
It's a affectation.
Yes.
No, I can't portmanteau that. Blackfectation?
Yeah.
Does that work?
I guess. Anyway, it's hilarious. And I love just call it about. No. Don't do that. You are the whitest man that we have ever seen. Don't.
You are pretty white, and you did a Kevin Hart impression.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would call it a Kevin Hart impression.
Are you just doing an impression of an entire race then,
Remington? Yeah, that's how it was.
I feel like, I don't know, I'm overly scared. I feel like we're walking a line right now.
See, I don't, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, this is entertainment.
Yeah.
What we are doing right now is entertainment. And this is a very this brings me to a really weird place. Jamie Foxx was on the Joe Rogan show. I watched this clip, and Joe Rogan asked him about how he felt, or the black community felt, about Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface in
Tropic Thunder.
And he said there really wasn't any backlash.
Yeah.
From, the actor community of African Americans. Because in order for an entertainer to do their job, they have to be a chameleon,
Yeah.
Like, if you are portraying these characters, you have to be able to portray them. If you're asked to do this, if you take the job to do it, then you have to do it. So being able to be a chameleon by doing quote unquote black voice or doing an Asian voice or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's inherently racist unless you are blatantly being racist about it. But I think you and I both walk that camp where, and this is the hard part is phrasing this properly.
Okay.
Where racist jokes can be funny, but only if they're like, if there is no intent to be actually racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or stereotyping. And like there's a difference between stereotyping and racism.
Like, I want to be woke. I'm trying to be woke.
I fucking hate that word.
Just let me be woke over here, Remington.
It's so dumb.
But at the same time, I can't change who I am.
Yeah.
And the things that I find funny. But again, like,
it's just
I don't find
oversensitivity.
racist jokes funny, but at the same time, what was it, an episode or two ago, I made a joke about Asian drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not racist against Asian people.
No.
Not against Asian people, anyway.
Yeah. But others, right?
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. You really hate those pikeys.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I hate pikeys.
Yeah.
You're mispronouncing. Cut that out. We're not leaving that in.
Nope, that's not one that's getting left in. Wow. But that would be an example of something that's inherently racist.
Yeah.
And that was a shock value one.
Yeah, that was absolutely shock value.
Oh. And I am going to cut it out, so you're not going to know what he said. Sorry, people. I'm going to leave the rest of the conversation in.
I didn't say what you think I said. Don't immediately jump to that.
No, it was something
different.
But equally bad.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, you choked me up. But so shock value stuff like that aside, I think that doing stereotypes or just being able to do an impression of somebody is not inherently wrong or racist to do, especially if you're in, like I said, essentially the entertainment industry. I mean, anybody who's doing a podcast is doing it not only for themselves, but also for people who want to listen to them. And you are entertaining them.
Yeah.
You are, by definition, an entertainer.
We're in an interesting time in history, I feel like.
Yeah. It's interesting and confusing and fucking glass-walky.
Yeah. With good reason. I mean, part of it is with good reason.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The cultural paradigm has shifted some.
Yes. But there has to be a point where the oversensitivity needs to dial back. Because there are some things that people are just oversensitive about. And it's so immediate that they just get completely thrown off and completely irate about things without taking the full scope of what's happening into consideration.
So what would you say then to a hypothetical listener who contacted you and said, I don't appreciate that you did, quote, black voice? I mean, that opens up a dialogue at least, right?
Yeah. I mean, if they want to have a dialogue with me, that's fine. I'll certainly talk about it, and we can have an adult discussion and move on from there, and I will either choose to or choose not to continue forward with if I do an impression.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not averse to if somebody were to have a problem with it.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to bring my wokeness to you.
But if they're just screaming at me, and then calling me names, and much like many people are apt to do nowadays. That's not an adult way to enter into a conversation. That's not a conversation. You're just trying to scream your opinion until I submit.
Yeah.
And you can go fuck yourself at that point. You can just not listen to my show.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because I'm still going to be me, and it's doing impressions, doing voices is something I have done my whole life. I can't stop myself from doing it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ingrained in me. It's something that I can't not do.
You're a social chameleon.
Yeah. I always have been. There was a guy, we may have talked about this, but it's been a long time ago. There was a guy who did not like me. Most people like me, right?
Yeah.
This guy did not like me because he thought I was disingenuous, because I could fit into any...
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
You were incensed that he didn't like you, too.
Yeah. It was very aggravating to me.
That guy sucked anyway, though.
Yeah, he did. Elitist.
Yeah.
An elitist nerd. But anyway, he didn't like me because he felt that I was disingenuous, because I could get along with anybody. Be it somebody who likes sports, or somebody who likes really nerdy things, or somebody who likes fucking sexy leather outfits. It doesn't matter. I can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that you would throw in specifically sexy leather outfits.
Well, I mean, I've got an order coming in that's separate from the computer parts, but that's a story for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there are people out there who won't like you because you are able to do basically something that they can't do. They can't talk to anybody. They can't be friends with everybody.
This guy that didn't like you couldn't really talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He was not a well-liked person.
I feel like he was just jealous that I was more popular.
Well, and
I know that sounds a little like catty and maybe shallow. But
yeah, that's nerd cattiness is what you're dropping right now.
Yeah.
You guys were definitely in the same camp. You guys were both like fat nerds who were an actor. You guys were both actors. You were in drama. Or
was he?
Show choir. He was in drama. You were in show choir.
Okay, because we didn't go to
He was
go to
older.
school.
He was probably 5 to 10 years older than you were.
And we didn't go to school together or anything.
No.
So.
But yeah, you guys a lot of your things overlapped one another.
Yeah.
Except you were popular with people and he was not.
Right.
So I do think it comes down to jealousy.
Yeah. That's fair then.
Watch, we find out he's got a podcast too. Might as well. Everybody else has one now.
Not salty.
No,
nope.
Not at all.
But anyway, that conversation took a weird turn. The movie itself sounds funny.
Back to Night School.
Sorry, Back to Night School. It was very funny. It had me laughing several times throughout the trailer.
So check it out.
Check it out. Do it.
You can see how close Remington's impression was.
Right. Do you have, give me something else? What do you have?
Microsoft, coming up April 10th, has a big announcement, in quotes, that's their words, planned for backwards compatibility games.
Oh, okay.
They have a thing called Inside Xbox, which is like a little show that they do. They've had 2 of them so far, I believe.
Okay.
So this will be the 3rd one.
And where is it available?
Online. You can just find it online.
Okay.
They'll put it up on YouTube. I think they live stream it through YouTube and their site, and then they put it up afterwards. You can watch it. This is specifically going towards original Xbox games.
Okay.
Right now, there are 15 original Xbox games that are backwards compatible, including Knights of the Old Republic, Crimson Skies, and a couple others, Prince of Persia.
Yeah. So, okay, we have discussed Xbox before and how they are kind of struggling. Yes, because they don't have the platform titles that PS4 seems to have, the exclusive titles.
Yeah, I mean, struggling is a strong word. They're not struggling by any stretch. I mean, PlayStation 4 is outselling them like 2, 3, 4 to 1.
Okay.
So PS4 is outselling Xbox pretty handily this generation.
Yeah.
But Xbox is still making money. Microsoft is still making money off of the Xbox. It's not a failure by any stretch. But yeah, their first-party titles are lacking.
Do you think that this is a bid for, bringing more people to Xbox, being able to play these older games?
Possibly. I mean, Xbox has backwards compatibility, whereas PlayStation doesn't.
Right.
And backwards compatibility for me is a huge thing.
Yeah.
I like backwards compatibility because I have probably 10 to 12 games right now that I own for 360 that I can put into my Xbox One and play.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the original Xbox games, but you can go online and download them and buy them now.
Right.
So I've read some speculation that this could either be they're going to announce another huge batch of original Xbox games that are backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Or some people are saying that they're going to bring back Xbox Live service for the original Xbox.
Oh, wow.
Because right now, if you have a multiplayer Xbox 360 game,
yeah,
I can be playing on a 360, you can be playing on an Xbox One, and we can play together.
That's cool, yeah.
So people are speculating that they're bringing it back for the original Xbox. That would be very surprising to me if they did. I don't see a reason why they would do that.
Yeah.
I don't know who really has their... I mean, of course, I'm probably going to be proven wrong now. Fucking every other listener is going to write in and say, I've got my original Xbox hooked up and I still use it, Brandon.
Right, yeah.
But I just don't imagine why you would have your original Xbox hooked up anymore when the 360 could play all original Xbox games.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be interesting to be able to play like... Well, I mean, I imagine original Halo you can play...
Through the Master Chief Collection you can.
Yeah, on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So, I still don't know if I want an Xbox or not. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting more into playing games, and I'd like to branch out to getting a capture card and doing console games on stream. But right now, I'm just doing PC through Steam.
That would be cool, because
Yeah.
you could have a capture card hooked up to one of your monitors.
Yeah.
And then do it that way.
But I don't know. Maybe down the pipeline.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep an eye on them. You can get... Sometimes Xbox Ones will go on sale for like $150.
Yeah.
They go so fucking cheap now.
That's pretty reasonable. I mean, I can drop $150.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem dropping $150. I remember just a few years ago that dropping $150 would be unheard of.
I know, it's crazy where you get to different points in life. I want to get to the point where dropping like $1,500 is like spending $150 now.
Yeah.
Like, I spend $150 now and it's like, oh, yikes, but I can manage it. It's not going to kill me.
Right, exactly.
$1,500 is like maybe in a couple months if I don't buy gas or food.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the point I want to get to, is where $1,500 is like nothing.
Yeah. You got to get that podcast money, Brandon.
I know. That's sweet podcast money. The money that you're hoarding.
Money. Yes.
You're sitting on it like a red dragon, just over the nickels and dimes that we've earned.
Yes.
The fucking one thing I've seen from this podcast, which is a Speedway drink you bought me a year ago. When we got our 1 year Amazon royalty check or whatever.
Right, exactly, yeah. To be fair, the rest of those profits went to back paying the Libsyn.
No, I know. I'm not. I'm not complaining. I know.
I'm just making a joke, just because we haven't made that one in a while.
I just like the idea of you laying on top of.
I painted
like
myself
$3.40 or however much we've earned.
Every time you come in, a little puff of fire comes out of my mouth.
What do you want?
Smoke.
What do you want?
Yes. Yeah, Smog was Black voice.
I was trying.
Yeah,
I was trying to do Kevin Hart.
Yeah, your Kevin Hart impression is spot on.
I know.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna jump back to movie news for a split second.
Okay.
I just wanted to touch on this one a little bit. Lynda Carter, yesterday, April 3rd, just got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Really?
Yep. And Gal Gadot put out a tribute on Twitter. It reads, congrats, my beloved, beautiful, @real Lynda Carter, for receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. From the first time I saw you, your grace, humor, and wisdom filled my heart, and I knew why it was you who was chosen to embody Wonder Woman. Thank you for your loving kindness shared by the sisterhood of women of wonder. And then she posted a video to go along with that. It's just the beginning Wonder Woman song. So I don't know how much of that song I can actually put up there, but I'll probably cut it off. But it was the original Wonder Woman theme. And there is... they wanted to put her in the first Wonder Woman movie, but scheduling didn't work out. But she is going to be in Wonder Woman 2.
I wonder if she's going to have any sort of important part.
I don't know. She has appeared in some of the DC stuff as different characters. But she asked, am I open to the sequel? Absolutely. Or she was asked if she was open to the sequel, and she said, yes, absolutely. I adore Patty Jenkins, and it'll be wonderful to do. but we'll just see how that goes. It's really up to Patty, and if it works in an organic way, it'll be great fun, and it'll be wonderful to do.
So she's doing her pose on the Hollywood star with her arms crossed.
Yes. She was one of the first women to portray comic book hero Wonder Woman in a live-action series and is more recently returned to the genre as President Olivia Marsden in the Supergirl series.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, like I said, she returned to the DC TV world by starring as President Marsden.
You're not still watching Supergirl, are you?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
How is it? I know we do, every so often, we do these CW show checkups.
Right now, I think it's just coming back from its break. And the next episode to come out, it's season 3, episode 1. And it's the trailer for it has involved Toyman blowing himself up at his own funeral.
Okay.
Yeah. So, kind of his MO was blowing things up.
With toys?
With toys, yeah. So something so innocent being so deadly, that sort of thing.
Universe.
Yeah. But anyway, I've enjoyed the series. We started watching, we're still watching Arrow. We're still watching, in fact, Arrow just wrote, if I'm not mistaken from what Ginger was telling me, they just wrote Speedy off the show for good, who was Oliver's sister.
Yeah.
Legends, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, still watching that.
And then Flash was your favorite, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Flash is still going, and Flash is now in its 4th or 5th season.
Wow.
And I would say that it's borderline formulaic. I guess all of those really kind of have to be, you know what I mean? They have to be a little formulaic. The next bad guy comes along and you have to deal with the threat.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm getting a lot of that now.
So are you getting kind of tired of it?
I don't want to say that I'm getting burned down on it because I'm still enjoying it when I'm watching it. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, let's make this story go along. I don't know if we have to pull a full season out of this. You know what I mean? Like, let's go ahead and kill off this bad guy so we can move on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a problem with more bad guys or just it being formulaic in the sense that there's a new bad to fight. But sometimes it feels like it's dragging on a little long. The Flash one that they have right now is its 4th season. And
it just got renewed recently, too.
Yeah. Oh, in fact, breaking news. They have the release dates. DC Legends of Tomorrow's season finale, where it will air next week on April 9th, with Black Lightning following on April 17th. Now, we did not start watching Black Lightning. At this point, we're kind of at our saturation point for shows.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm streaming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So sometimes we will watch a show and sometimes we won't. Riverdale back on May 16th, Arrow and Supernatural finales on May 17th, and The Flash on May 22nd. iZombie finale airs May 28th. Previously, it was announced that Constantine would be joining Legends of Tomorrow as a season regular. Should the show be renewed for a 4th season, which the CW recently did, along with confirming 9 other shows which will return this fall. But I will say, I think Constantine actually got picked up for a web series as well.
So they're doing a Constantine web series?
I think I saw that somewhere. Don't quote me on it, but if you liked Constantine when it was out originally on the CW, because it didn't get picked back up.
No, it was canceled after, 1 season?
Yeah, I think it went 1 season and then it didn't get picked back up. But they have brought John Constantine back on Legends.
Same actor, too?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't remember where I was going with that, but we're still enjoying the shows. We're still watching them.
That's pretty cool that he was on a show, it got canceled, and then they just move him over to another show.
Yeah.
I love that the DC TV shows can do that.
Yeah.
And that they're intertwining with one another.
Yeah. And, friggin' seems like once a year they'll do a big...
Mush them all together.
The biggest of bads.
Like when your Ninja Turtles toys would meet your He-Man toys.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Arrowverse will cross over with Supergirl because we have Cisco Ramon on the Flash who can jump from dimension to dimension. So Supergirl is on Earth 3, if I remember correctly. And there are multiple Earths in the DC multiverse.
Yeah.
That different things can happen on. So Supergirl is on Earth 3, where Flash is on Earth 1.
Okay.
because they were the first series to establish that, I imagine, is how that works out.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, who gets to decide which Earth I'm on? Because this is Earth 1 for me, asshole.
So Flash came before Supergirl then?
Yes.
Was it the first show? I thought Arrow was the first.
Arrow was the first show, but they didn't do any multiverse stuff. It was more mysticism, more borderline magic, and because we have Ra's al Ghul in the Arrowverse.
Oh, he's in the Arrowverse?
He's in the Arrowverse,
all
yes.
right.
So the Lazarus Pits and all of that stuff, they worked into, for show purposes, they worked into the Arrow instead of Batman.
Is Gotham mixed up in any of this at all?
They, I believe, have mentioned Gotham every once in a while, but the show Gotham itself, no.
God, it becomes so confusing whenever you have properties in an entire shared universe and you're doing TV shows that are unconnected.
Yeah. So, like, we've watched iZombie. We have not watched Gotham. We haven't watched Black Lightning. We haven't watched, what was the other one? Riverdale. Of course, Riverdale isn't, I think Archie is owned by DC, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure either.
It would make sense, though.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It would make sense that it is. I just don't know for sure.
And I know that the Kapow guys love Riverdale.
That's what I was going to say. If you want Riverdale coverage, go over to Kapow, the Pop Cultured Podcast. Oh my God, I did it, Brandon.
Kapow, the Pop Cultured Podcast.
I did it.
Yeah, first try, too.
I did, yes. I didn't stutter through it. I'm so proud of me.
I've been watching, actually, I just finished the Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, yeah?
That was on Netflix. Have you seen anything about that?
No, I haven't, but I heard you have raved about it in the past, so.
Yeah, I think I talked about the first season when it was on. It's Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant, or Oliphant, however you pronounce it.
Oliphant.
And the first episode starts out with she just pukes her guts out, and she pukes up like a organ or something, like a perfect round ball.
Okay.
And then they find out she's a zombie. So she starts eating flesh.
Okay.
So the second season is all about trying to hide the fact that she's a zombie.
Yeah.
While they live this like affluent lifestyle as realtors.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So, but the season 2 starts mixing in the history of where it comes from, because there's no explanation in season 1 about why she's a zombie. She just is.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of wave that has affected a couple other people are also zombies.
Yeah.
With no explanation of where it came from or why.
Huh, okay.
So season 2 starts to delve into the backstory, and there's like ancient plagues and monsters and knights involved, and it's just really cool.
That's cool.
I don't want to give a whole lot away, but if you have Netflix and haven't checked it out, I would recommend checking it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Season 2 is a lot different than season 1 in a good way. Like, I watched season 1 and it almost felt like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Because it was a little like schmaltzy.
Yeah.
Season 2 is 100% up my alley.
Good word use, by the way, schmaltzy. I like it.
I used that word yesterday talking about something else too with Brie.
Yeah.
So schmaltzy's been in my vernacular for the past 24 hours.
Nice. Do we want to move on to some... Well, let's move on to some game news. I have some science and space news, but I might actually have to hold off on it. While we're sticking to kind of comic-style news, Marvel announced that they are working on a new Fantastic Four series.
I wonder if this means they're getting the Fantastic Four back.
I don't know, I guess. So, for those of you who know, the Fantastic Four was basically put on hold indefinitely after the several flops of movies, but especially the last one.
Yeah. They kind of did that with anybody who wasn't letting them use their property.
Yeah.
Marvel was sort of punishing them by getting rid of their comics.
Yeah.
They said they weren't, but they were.
Right. This comes from firstpost.com. Marvel announces the return of the Fantastic Four comics with a new series releasing in the summer of 2018. Often cited as a casualty of Marvel Entertainment and Fox's struggle, the Fantastic Four comic book series had ended in 2015 at the close of Marvel's major story arc back then, The Secret Wars. But now Marvel has confirmed that the Fantastic Four comic books will be back in a tweet where Marvel editor-in-chief C.B. Cebulski, I think is how you say his name?
Sure.
Made the announcement via the Marvel handle. Quote, actually, this is a podcast, so
What's up, everybody? I'm Ryan Panagos, a.k.a. Marvel's Agent M, and I'm joined by C.B. Cebulski, Marvel Comics Editor-in-Chief. We're here to announce some fabulous news today. Before we get to that, though, I think it's really important for our fans to know that Marvel Comics is at a really cool point, right? Because starting in May with Avengers #1, we have this huge launch, Jason Aaron, Ed McGuinness, and a big start for our books. What's going on in the comics?
You know, Marvel's a company that as we move forward, we always look back at our past. And we've never been a company that's been afraid to take chances with our publishing line. And this is just, a chance to go back to some of the characters that people love in the past, bring some new creative teams on, to bring new voices to the book, to bring a new look to the art, and just offer fans a different perspective on the Marvel Universe with the characters that they know and love.
We are just steamrolling ahead, some really cool things that are sort of built around 4 important tenets for us. That's right.
That's correct.
4 important tenets.
New series, new creative teams, new beginnings, and new directions.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 kind of phrases that we're keeping in mind as we work with the editorial teams to really build up these great new titles we're launching over the summer.
Yeah, and the summer's just going to be bonkers.
If you're a comic fan, it's not going to be a better time to be a Marvel reader.
New Captain America #1, Black Panther #1, Life of Captain Marvel #1.
Yep. We can't believe that the things people are asking for, how much love they're showing us, and there's no end to the desire they have for new titles. Everybody has a favorite character. People just keep asking for more things.
I know. And, that's interesting that you say that, because on that note, one of the things that we've been hearing so much is, guys, we kind of want a special team back. We want some characters back in our books. I think now is the perfect time to say
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four is coming back.
The first family is returning to Marvel on a monthly basis.
Yes, and that's, when you say the first family, that's Reed, Johnny, Ben, and Sue.
Yes, it's the original 4. Chip Zdarsky's doing a great job within Marvel 2-in-1. That book is going to continue, but Reed and Sue will be coming back to the Marvel Universe, and that team will be reforming.
What is the creative team on this new Fantastic Four series?
We've been waiting for the right creators to come available for this book. It's been in the works a long time. We've been waiting for them to free up. They've both finished their current commitments, and we're happy to announce that the new creative team is going to be Dan Slott with Sarah Pichelli.
All right, so we'll go ahead and stop it there. The interview continues on. It's 4 minutes. That was about 2 minutes of it. And I might cut that down just a little bit more, too. So, yeah, Fantastic Four coming back.
Yeah.
As far as the comics go, Marvel had mentioned that the comics themselves had kind of dropped off in sales anyway.
Yeah.
So that, coupled with the dumpster fire of movies and that property kind of getting a little bit of shit on the shine of the Silver Surfer,
That was a good analogy.
Thank you. I say that it's fair to give Fantastic Four a break. But, now we're coming back and some fresh names and fresh stories to come out, and hopefully it'll breathe some new life into the series.
I can't believe it's been since 2015.
I know, it doesn't seem that long.
I know.
That's
because I think we covered it on the podcast.
Yeah, we did.
Jesus.
Yeah, we've been doing this podcast a long time, Brandon.
I know, apparently.
Yeah.
It always surprises me. I feel like we've been doing it like a year.
Yeah, no, it's been like 4 years now.
Yeah.
And we
still can't get past 311 likes on Facebook. Son of a bitch, we're back down to 310 again.
Yeah. Everybody share us out and encourage your friends to like us.
Yeah. We just want to get consistently past 310 likes.
Yeah, just get us up to 400.
Yeah. Just find 89 more people.
Just 350 would be fine.
Yeah, but really 4.
Yeah,
because the onus is on the listeners. It's not on us.
Yeah,
to connect with people.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta if you like us, you gotta share us.
Yeah,
you gotta pimp us.
We're gonna berate you into.
You have to
do it.
If you don't, nothing will happen because we're lazy.
We will keep doing this podcast.
We'll just keep whining. Come on, guys.
Do it.
Will you please just share our stuff?
Your head is moving a lot while you do that.
It's a hard voice to do without moving your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta twist and contort your neck to different places.
Yeah, you kind of got dinosaur neck.
Yeah. Dinosaur neck.
So do you care about Fantastic Four?
As far as it goes, no. I mean, I think it's interesting that they're bringing it back. But as any of these companies are wont to do, nothing ever really dies.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, Marvel and DC both have brought back characters that have genuinely and literally failed in the past just to try to see if they could.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
I mean, I remember major news organizations were running the story that Fantastic Four was getting dropped.
Yeah.
As if Fantastic Four was going away for good.
Right.
And it's like, how fucking stupid, or how little do you know about the comic book world to think that Fantastic Four is gone for good?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
A character, even if Fantastic Four is not the most popular comic series, a character as iconic as Reed Richards, The Thing, The Invisible Woman, and The Human Torch are ever just going to be completely written off.
Yeah.
Is asinine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just asinine, Remington.
Asinine, Brandon. I can't even. Can't even. Do you have another story for me?
Chick-fil-A is set to become the third largest fast food restaurant.
You could have just said no. Okay, well, is it the third largest?
The third largest fast food chain.
So McDonald's, Burger King, and then
McDonald's, Starbucks.
Oh.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, where does Burger King rank on the list? Did it
like
say?
4th or 5th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's Chick-fil-A is overtaking Burger King and Taco Bell.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Owen
Yeah,
Wilson. Wow. Sorry. Somebody
It's
was
gonna
doing
be
that. I was listening.
Awful listening.
I was listening to a podcast where they were doing it the other day, and it stuck in my head.
So, yeah. There's really not a whole lot to that.
Yeah,
I thought we might be able to get some discussion out of it, but we've been having some good discussion already.
Yeah.
So there's that, just so I can cross it off of my notes.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Chick-fil-A.
Chicken sandwiches.
You delicious, bigoted piece of shit.
Their chicken sandwiches hate gay people.
That's right. But we don't, but we still eat their sandwiches.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, chicken is tasty. I don't care. Chicken's tasty.
I had Chick-fil-A on the way over specifically because I'd read this story.
See? That's
Damn,
fucking
is it good.
viral marketing.
Do they
right
make
there.
a good chicken sandwich?
Yeah, no, the ones that I love, the little chicken bites and the little, like, biscuit guys, the little rolls.
I haven't had those.
Oh, my God.
I always go
them.
chicken sandwiches or chicken tenders.
No, get those. I think it's a breakfast one.
Oh, okay.
So you have to get it for breakfast.
No.
Yeah, I know, right? Who wakes
I'm
up
not
before
awake
11
that
o'clock?
early.
Fuck that. But anyway, those are my favorite. The little biscuits they have, they're soft and they're very tasty.
Your eyes are lighting up.
I know. I want them really bad. I want them now. Well, that was a good story.
Thank you.
I'm glad.
Thank you. I had an article I wanted to discuss, but I don't think you actually read it.
Oh,
the
yeah?
article I sent you last week, and I said, hey, read this because I want to discuss it.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. I know you
I'm
didn't
sorry.
because you didn't comment back.
I'm sorry.
You waited like 2 days and then said, hey, we have 50 subscribers on Twitch.
I was busy at the time, and yeah.
I mean, understandably, it's like an entire page of an article. So
it is.
pretty
It's
rough to
so
read.
hard. What was it?
It's called I Hate Going into Comic Book Stores.
Oh, no, I did read it.
Oh, you did?
I did read it. Yes, let's
Do you want
talk
to
about it.
discuss it, or do you want to go hit a news
Fuck
story?
it, we just come off of, barring the Chick-fil-A, we just came off of comic book news. Let's talk about it, and then we'll end it there.
All right, so the article is by Charles Pulliam Moore,
Okay.
and the Cliff's Notes version of this article is he hates going into comic book stores because he feels like they're elitist, like it's a sort of secret club
Yeah.
where he doesn't know where anything is, he can't get help, nobody wants to help him really.
Yeah.
But mostly it seemed like his big complaint is that it's not laid out in a friendly way.
Right.
It's not laid out like, hey, I want to get the Wolverine books. Here's the newest issue. I want to get the back issues. Here they are, all in one place.
Yeah.
Isn't that, to you, what it seemed like he was more complaining about than anything else?
Yeah, I think so. It does. A comic store, in my mind, doesn't leave a lot of room for you to see how to phrase this. I can see where he's coming from. I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but it's almost like I think a comic shop would benefit from signage,
Mm-hmm.
like a better, more pointed signage.
Well, one of the things that he talks about specifically is he goes into the comic book shop and he goes up to the counter and he asks the person, he says, hey, I'm looking for a book, or hey, where's something?
Yeah.
And he says, the guy tells him, Marvel books are over there, DC books are over there, can I help you find something?
Yeah.
And he says that wasn't good enough, that didn't lead him to what he wanted.
Yeah.
Which, like, I read that and was thinking, because I'm kind of all over the place with this article.
Yeah.
I heard that or read that and was like, what fucking more do you want the guy to do?
Yeah, right.
Like, he pointed you into things and then said, what can I help you find?
Yeah.
Like, what else do you want him to do? You want him to give you a hand job? Like,
Right.
he's giving you customer service, because that's part of what he complains about too. I felt like the article was a little all over the place, really.
Yeah.
But he also complains about the lack of customer service.
Yeah. Which I can see. Sometimes you walk into a store and there's just a dude standing behind the counter, or maybe a couple of dudes sitting at a table
Playing a game of Magic
or something. And I mean, hell, that's what it is in most places.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing about this is that comic shops are usually locally owned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even big shops are locally owned in a lot of cases. So, and by locally owned, I mean the owner is the one who's working it.
Yeah.
Or they have hired on some people who know their stuff about comics necessarily, but they don't know anything about customer service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing. I mean, there is a science behind good customer service. When you go into retail and the things that they're trying to teach you about, let's say you work in a clothing store and you show somebody to a fitting room and then you suggest extra clothing that you think that might look good on them.
Yeah.
While you're in there, try this on, because, you know, that's upselling, but it's an important piece of customer service that you can leverage to get people to purchase things off of you. And ultimately, that is the goal. If you have somebody come into the store, you want to convert them to a sale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is the nature of sales. That is the nature of having a business. You want people to purchase things off of you so you can continue living.
Yeah, I mean, comic shops are specialty shops, though.
Yes, they are. But you still have to treat it as every customer that comes in is a potential purchase. You want to sell them something.
Yeah.
So you have to be the best of yourself in order to say, this is the thing that you need. This is the thing that you're looking for. This is the thing that you want to buy. Oh, by the way, here's something that you kind of like this. Let me show you this, because this is pretty cool too. I think it's right up your alley.
Yeah, and that comes down to being knowledgeable.
Yeah, that's the knowledgeable part of it, but that's also salesmanship. And it's an integral part if you want to continue your business toward a path of success. In any business, not just a comic book shop or a game shop that also features comics. To me, and I'm long in the tooth when it comes to retail. I've worked a lot of retail jobs.
Yes, you have.
So when you've worked as many as I have and have been in it as long as me, it sounds like a corporate mentality, and it's because it is. And the problem is that, yeah, I have a corporate mentality, but at the same time, it works. You can't deny the things that work. Now, there are some things in there that don't work. For instance, a company saying that you have to meet this stat 1 month and then take that stat down and make you meet another stat, but wants you to continue keeping that other stat high, when sometimes you can't have that trade-off.
Yeah.
Like keeping game sales up while also trying to increase your comic book sales. For instance, if you're in a multi-tiered store like that.
I ran into that a lot at my last job at NASA, where we had to sell stuff, and there were so many metrics that was, you got to meet this and you got to meet this. Hey, good job. Now also keep these numbers at the same thing, but also now meet this thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and that's just it. From the corporate view of things, it's all just numbers. So you have to keep in mind that while you want to convert a customer into a purchase, they are still a human being. And you still want to appeal to whatever they're looking for.
So what should this comic book worker behind the counter have done differently then? Because it sounds like he did what he should have done. He pointed him to different places. He asked him what he was looking for.
Yeah. And I think it would be fair to take a look at the article again to kind of dial in specifically on what it was.
I think what the author is trying to say too in this circumstance is that it's just so overwhelming to go into a comic book shop.
And that I can concede.
I can concede that as well. It is very overwhelming. If I walk into a comic shop and I don't know what I want to read, it is overwhelming. And a lot of times you do kind of get like, well, here's all the new stuff. Check it out. You have to be the one to press. I have to be the one a lot of times to be like, well, what have you been reading?
Yeah.
What would you suggest?
Yeah.
Because comic book shops, at least the ones that I've been to, and not just in this town, but in general, tend to draw a more introverted crowd who works there.
Yeah.
You either have somebody who's extroverted who knows fuck all about comics at all.
Right.
But might be a good salesman because they're a bullshitter.
Yeah.
Which I feel like nerds can kind of smell a bullshitter.
Yeah.
And nerds shy away from them because nerds don't like loud, abrasive people.
Right, yeah.
Or you have the people who are really good at reading comics and really good at reading comics.
They're really knowledgeable
they're
about...
really good with words and things. They're really knowledgeable about comics, but they tend to be more introverted, and they're not going to be the kind of person who's like, hey, well, what kind of stuff do you like to read? Oh, you like X, Y, and Z? Well, here, try this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this bit verbatim. Like many stores, the walls were lined from the ceiling to the floor with gleaming covers that were nothing compared to the intricate labyrinth of long bookcases stuffed with toys and graphic novels that were older than I was. As fun as it was to see mountains of comics piled high as far as the eye could see, it was also intimidating because of how foreign and confusing the store's organization was. Brand new comics were displayed all over the store, seemingly at random places, and there was no real rhyme or reason to tracking down the issues that had come out a week or two before. So, now this is something that, through talking to local comic store owner Jordan Lowe, when you're a smaller comic shop like that, you have to get that rotation out.
Yeah.
He pays for these comics himself, and I mean, there's a whole slew of things that goes on behind the scenes for those of you who don't know exactly how it ends up working, because I've asked not just Jordan, but I've asked other people about it as well. When it comes to ordering comics, it's a pretty fucking convoluted system.
Yeah.
What these guys, they have to jump through a lot of fucking hoops for it. So if you're wondering why your local comic shop owner doesn't have the particular thing that you're looking for, fucking ask him. Because he might have had to get rid of it. He might have sold out of it and there was no more people asking for it, and then it's out of print, and it's just, it gets messy fast.
Yeah.
So
it's not a job I envy. I mean, I envy working in a comic shop.
Yeah.
But I want to be a peon in a comic shop. I don't want to be the owner of a comic shop.
Right, for sure. Absolutely. Jordan, my heart goes out to you for dealing with all the stuff that you have to deal with. The obvious solution to my problem was to just ask someone where everything was, but the response I got from the store clerk, DC's there, Marvel's over there, is there something you're looking for? Wasn't exactly helpful because, again, all of this was new to me, and what I really needed was the time and guidance. So he was talking about his first time into a comic shop.
So he's a kid.
Yeah, so presumably a kid, or at least a young adult.
It was a week ago.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. I didn't know what I was doing. Everybody's talking about all these comics, and I'm like over here like, what?
Hey,
what is a comic?
Oh.
I see these movies. I see these heroes. They're pretty cool. I figure I'd get into the meat and potatoes of the pulp of it all. Yeah.
See, now that's a racist voice.
But I wouldn't exactly call a Jersey person a race.
Not anymore. I wouldn't call him a race either. Patooey.
Anyway, fucking dumb. I get that. The comic owner made the the comic book owner, or the person behind the counter, made the assumption that this fellow was not new to comics. Here's what that salesperson should have done in that instance. If somebody new comes into your store and they don't specifically ask for a particular title, or if they're wanting to know where something is, but they don't discuss anything in particular that they're looking for, don't just assume that, they're a DC fan or a Marvel fan or a, was it Indigo or
Dark
Horse or something like that. Don't assume that they even know what these vendors are. If somebody comes in asking something, but it's very generalized and nondescript, or they have no idea what they're looking for, start leading questions, start asking them, well, what do you like? What are you into? Do you like Batman? Do you like Wolverine? Do you like, this or that? Pick their brain.
Yeah.
To see what they're into. Do you like magic? Do you like fantasy? Do you like technology? We've got this over here. You have to read your guest. You have to read your customer. If somebody comes in and they genuinely they've never been in a fucking comic shop before, for the customer, here's my recommendation. If you've never been into a comic book shop before, let them know that you've never been into a comic shop before.
Yeah.
Because that's just it. You'll have a situation like this where you walk in, you're going to be completely overrun by all of the colors and book covers and whatever's going on in the store, whether it be busy or not. I mean, it's overwhelming.
Comic book shops always seem to be busy, at least the ones around here.
Yeah.
There seems to always be people playing Magic or people playing D&D or HeroClix.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
And me, as kind of an introverted person, surprisingly enough, as an introverted person, going into somewhere new, when I know who the clerk is, but they're wrapped up in a game of Magic and I need to ask them a question, it's a little hard to do. I can imagine as a new person walking into a comic book shop, especially your I hate to stereotype, but your sort of classic comic book reader who might not be so socially out there, it's going to be a little awkward to walk up to who you think is working there and interrupt them mid casting of a Sarah Angel to say, hey, can you tell me, I've never been to a comic book shop before, can you tell me what I might like?
Yeah.
So I can see it from the customer's point of view, how it would be daunting as well.
Oh, yeah, sure. And to that end, I don't begrudge anybody who works in a multi-faceted store like that if they're playing with their customers. But at the same time, if somebody comes into your store, you need to stop what you were doing and engage that customer.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're in the middle of a turn. You need to get up and you need to engage your customer.
I've been to shops before where the only thing I've got was like kind of a wayward eye and a, hey man, one of those.
Yes.
And I just leave. Like I might look around for a little bit, but if somebody doesn't come up to me and says like, hey, what are you looking for? Or somebody is clearly behind the counter, I just leave.
Yeah. And that's just it. This is all going back to sales experience. But if somebody comes into your store, you have to convert them. So you have to engage them. It's like you just said, if you walk in and that person doesn't engage you, you have a very good chance of walking back out because you're not going to get the help that you need.
Yeah.
On some level, whether you realize it, whether you are conscious or not of it, if you don't have that engagement, there's a chance that you're going to walk out and not buy anything. And that is a failure of the salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it like that, but it is. Especially when you are a smaller shop trying to make your own way. You've got to engage your customer.
Yeah.
If you just simply don't have the ability to do that, hire somebody who can.
So do you think that's what leads into what this guy called? Because this guy at one point calls comics like a secret club.
Yeah.
Says they're like a cult, not a cult mentality, but almost like kind of an inner circle.
Yeah, kind of. And I really don't, it's not that we as nerds want it to be. It's just that it's like you have alluded to, a lot of nerds don't have that they have that introverted sensibility about them. It's awkward for us to talk to new people. It's when somebody comes in or when we walk into somewhere, we don't want to be a bother. And, that's one of the reasons why for so long, nerd was a bad thing to be. A geek was a bad thing to be because people weren't into the things that you were into and you just felt completely crushed by the fact that nobody around you liked the things that you liked. So it's a crushing thing. Now it's a cool thing to be a nerd, but that doesn't take that stigma away. It doesn't, that doesn't magically make us less introverted. Mm-hmm. Just because people are into the things that we're into now.
Yeah, exactly.
It just means that it's easier for us to be put into a spotlight where we don't necessarily feel comfortable. But, well, I say we, not me.
Yeah, you can do it just fine.
Because I'm not an introvert. But I feel like I'm empathizing, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, like I said, to that end, for the comic shop owner who has a rough time or has maybe gotten some reviews where somebody said maybe they weren't helpful, you've got to engage your customer. Mm. You've got to be on top of it. That's just what you got to do. Even if it's just for a split second, put down whatever you're doing, put down whatever you're working on. If you're trying to refill your list or get your orders done, you got to put it down for just long enough to say, hey, here I am. What can I do for you? Convert that guest to a sale.
Yeah.
point them in the direction that they need to go.
Like, I get it. It's annoying to stand up in the middle of cracking a fetch land during a game of Magic. But you got to interact with the customers more.
You do.
Otherwise, you get articles like this, and you get people saying that comic book shops are gatekeeping. Because I feel like comic book shops are gatekeeping a little bit.
Yeah.
They do. Just by their nature, they gatekeep some. Because they have all of these hidden stories and secrets, and you have fans who are playing games you've never heard of and sitting around playing RPGs that are like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
You know, and they look at you when you walk in a little bit like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't even mean to, I feel like.
No.
It's just you are an outsider coming into what is a safe space for them.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. That's what it is.
And that
these shops are a safe haven for people who are socially awkward. I mean, I hate that is the truth of the matter, though, but it is. You know, this when I was younger and I was more socially awkward. I mean, I was always a kid who liked to hug, but I mean, I was still awkward in interacting with people.
Mm.
Going into a comic shop, it was a safe haven. You know, I always got into Magic because of you guys, and you form. Human beings are cliquey by nature. We create cliques. So we create these micro societies.
Yeah.
You know, nerds in one place, jocks in another. You know, we've got the goth kids off to the side smoking their closed cigarettes.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right.
Here we are,
yeah.
Yeah, just stuck in the middle. I couldn't sell right through it. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I tried, but I lost my train of thought. But you're right. I mean, we have these little, even inside of the shop itself, like you said, we have RPGers and we have Magic players and we have comic readers and we have the people who are into the Pokemon cards, or we've got Warhammer guys over here fucking painting miniatures and trees and shit, you know? All of these things are happening, and they're all in their own little microcosm. So when you walk in, you don't just have one fucking group of people looking at you like you're an outsider. You have 7 people looking at you like you're an outsider.
So the comic shop owner or the worker needs to be like the guy from Diablo.
Yes. Stay a while and listen.
They need to be the guide.
Yes.
They need to be the ones who say, come on in and let me show you through.
Yes.
Kind of like in all of those teen movies where
Right.
the new person enters high school and the person walks them through and is like, let me show you. Those are the geeks.
Yeah.
Those are the goths. And you see each individual group.
Yeah.
It needs to be like that.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
are you into? You know, like comics? Well, let me show you the miniature, the war painting miniature.
Yeah.
People.
Oh, you're
and
not...
you know, they're all horrid and gnarled up and listening to metal and disgusting, just monstrous people. You know, let me show you the Magic players, and they're all cool, and they're like sunglasses and slicking back their hair. And
Yeah, nobody knows where
flipping
you're...
a Shivan dragon like a coin.
Nobody knows where your loyalties lie, Brandon. Nobody knows.
Back to the miniature painters with their...
To be fair, Brandon has painted miniatures in his past,
I've painted
too.
I love painting miniatures.
Yeah. He's also horrid and decrepit.
Yeah, I am. Just constantly things dripping from me.
But no, you're right. I mean, you are comic book owner or a person working behind the counter. You're the dungeon master.
Mm-hmm.
You are. You have to lead the story. You have to lead the customer to the story. You know, you can't just put them into the world without a goal.
Yes.
You know, and if they don't know what that goal is, you have to present a goal to them. Find out what they're into and get their character backstory. That way you know how to work them into your tale. Because that's what you're doing. You're spinning a tale for the person who doesn't know what to do.
Agreed. I think that puts a fine point on it, Remington.
Yeah, thank you. So, that wraps us up for the week, yeah?
Yes, it does.
All right.
This has been a long episode.
Yeah, it's going to be another hour and a halfer. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call us at 978 DU Ogres, that's 978-386-4737, or you can also text us. And we also have a call from Bucky.
We do.
Who decided to call in because he was told to. So here we go.
Hey guys, it's Bucky in the voice. Anyway, I am calling you from my late night at work. How are you guys doing tonight? Anyway,
Good.
I have a question for you, Brandon. What podcasts do you listen to? I haven't slept in a week. I need to know. Brandon, Tell me now, or I will never stop posting prequel memes in Discord. Okay. Bye, guys. Love the podcast. Bye.
Thanks, Bucky.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of socially awkward, whenever you call into some place and you have to leave a message and you have no idea really what you're going to say,
it's weird.
That is the worst.
I've called in and left messages on a couple podcasts, and it always like, all right, guys, love the show, thanks. You know, you just don't know how to end it because you're not talking to another person.
Yeah, exactly.
And I swear to God, if he keeps posting prequel memes, he's getting the ban hammer.
That's right.
I was telling you earlier, I almost banned him when I was having a bad day and he kept tagging me in prequel memes.
There you go, Bucky. You have been warned.
But I wouldn't actually ban him.
I will. I don't care.
Remington has no problem with it.
I'll let you back in. I'll ban you just to make sure that you understand that you have crossed the line. I give zero kitty fucks.
I don't know if we should berate somebody right after they call in, though.
No, Bucky, I appreciate the shit out of you calling.
Yeah.
Just don't ever drop a prequel meme again.
I don't understand them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I understand about 2/3 of them, and the other third are like, I don't know what this means.
Yeah, that's the problem that we ran into. He was dropping prequel memes that just had no bearing on anything that was said or made sense.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They've got to be good, Bucky.
But yes,
like your question.
I will start to write out something for an article about what podcasts I listen to.
So, but real quick, what are some of the ones that you frequent?
As far as political podcasts go, I listen to No Cry Zone, which has David Hayes, who we interviewed before. He's on that one.
Yes.
I listen to No Cry Zone and Abe Lincoln's Top Hat for my politics. I listen to a podcast called Abject Suffering, where they play old video games that are terrible.
Nice.
The same people who do Abject Suffering also do one called Watch Out for Fireballs.
Okay.
Where they review good games. And I mean, these are like in-depth 2 and 3 hour podcasts. They're pretty good. One of my favorites is Tell 'em Steve Dave. I've mentioned that before. It's by some of the people from the View Askew universe. Unlimited Lives Radio is a video games podcast. Hey, Do You Remember is a nostalgia-filled podcast where they review old movies. They look at them with fresh eyes. Another one I really like is called Backseat Designers.
Wait, I just wanted the name to sink in for a few minutes because that sounds pretty like...
Backseat Designers?
Yeah, it sounds like somebody who goes in and flips houses.
It is 3 guys who have all worked on video games before, who have all worked on adventure games, like point-and-click adventure games.
Okay.
They interview people who are putting out current adventure games.
Okay.
So they're backseat designers because they've designed stuff before, and when they don't interview people, they'll pick a topic like breaking the fourth wall in games, should you do it or not, and do an entire episode about that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's cool. It just started its 4th season.
Nice.
So if you like gaming, especially retro gaming, Backseat Designers is pretty good.
Awesome.
And that's maybe 1/3 of the podcasts I listen to.
Gotcha.
I listen to a shit ton of podcasts.
So look forward to that list that Brandon will get out in... Give yourself a date, Brandon.
Couple months.
A couple months? Fuck, dude.
I'll start writing some stuff out. I'll just make it a big long post with all of them. I'll put like a sentence or two about each of them and a link to them.
Okay, so that sounds good.
Except the people that I talk to in person.
Yeah.
I'll write up longer write-ups about that so I can send it to them and maybe they'll share us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I'm all for it. Write up however much you want and then get a hold of the guys and just say, hey, I just want to let you know we had a guest on our podcast ask us about what podcasts I listen to, so I just wanted to let you guys know I featured you.
Yeah.
I think that I love networking. Mm. Even though we're terrible at it, I still love
You're
doing
getting
it.
a lot better at it.
This Twitch thing helps, for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you again, honestly, thank you very much for calling in. I know that it was kind of baited, but I'm glad that you took the bait and called in. I appreciate it.
Double baited.
Yeah. Well, we baited for somebody to ask you that question last week.
He took the bait.
And then he took said bait.
And called us. Okay.
But you can call us anytime, Bucky, and leave us a message for the podcast. Not in real life, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you'd been up all week.
Yeah?
Wanting to know the answer to this question, so I'll try to get the articles out as soon as possible.
Yeah. So 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. 2 weeks seems fair.
Okay. Fair enough. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres, email us at duelingogres@gmail.com, or leave a comment on the Facebook page. We're also available, we have a Pinterest, we have a LinkedIn, we've got Google+, we've got Instagram. I mean,
we're covered on everything.
We just exploded ourselves onto the internet.
Yeah.
But most of our interactions come via Facebook. So, Brandon, what do we got for Facebook?
The royal but humble Viscount Terry W. Irvin II commented and said, the original "I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass and I am all out of bubblegum" quote was by Rowdy Roddy Piper in They Live, which came before Duke Nukem.
Yes.
Duke Nukem took a lot of the personality of Rowdy Roddy Piper in They Live.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then he had a link to that. So you and Terry had a bit of a back and forth.
Yeah.
I had to comment at the end and say I still think Hell Comes to Frogtown is a fantastic movie, because Hell Comes to Frogtown is a fantastic movie. I put it on the background of your computer. You never watched it.
No, I have not watched it yet. No, it's there. I have it. I don't fucking have time for anything anymore,
It's
Brandon.
worth it. It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He also commented and he said, I've never played 5th edition. Speaking of 5th edition D&D.
Yeah.
Only the standard 1st edition with maybe a few modifications. Guess I and the folks I game with are more old school. Of course, we're not exactly teenagers anymore.
Well, to be fair, I mean, we would still be playing 3.5 if Eric hadn't bought everybody books.
Yeah. I mean, he drug us kicking and screaming
into 5th edition.
Yeah.
But bless his heart, he did. He purchased us each a player's handbook. I mean, he got them at a good deal, but that's no excuse. That out of the bottom of his heart.
Still, yeah, I was very touched by it.
Yeah.
I really was like, what, really?
Yeah, yeah, we were so like, oh my God. So, yeah, now we all have our own. Well, actually, I think he got me a Dungeon Master's
Yeah, he
guide.
got you because he got Ginger, the player's handbook.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, bless his heart.
And he gave Kevin one, and he'd met Kevin once before.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kevin's a dick.
Yeah, Kevin is just a horrible person.
I wouldn't say he's a horrible person. I'd just say he's an asshole.
I just wanted to make sure that he was listening. That's all.
So we'll see in a couple of weeks with the comments.
Yeah, this is where the beratement comes. We all berate each other as friends.
Yeah.
So if we berate you on the podcast, it's because we think you're friends.
So get a hold of us and become friends with us, and then we'll be shitty to you too.
That's right. It'll make you stronger as a person.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with kids these days.
Or it'll just wear you down to a raw nerve like it's done to me.
Exactly. Make sure to subscribe on our website, duelingogres.com, for news, shows, and articles pertaining to some of your favorite geek news. The incomparable Viscount Terry W. Irvin will have an article that he has prepared for us that we need to publish. I also have several of the recordings of my past Twitch streams that will be going up in a timed fashion, as it were. I'm thinking about releasing one a week. I don't want to inundate our website with that because really the website is more supposed to be about the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm streaming, like I said, 8 hours a week and, 2 different games and then splitting that up theoretically into 2 hours. So that's, 16 videos.
4 videos.
8 videos. Math. Not an hour apiece.
2 hours apiece.
2 hours apiece. 4 videos.
4 videos, yes. It literally was 8 divided by 2.
I don't know math, Brandon. This is why I'm an editor, not a mathematician. But yeah, Bucky, speaking of, though, you need to not be so busy so you can do your articles as well, man.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to them.
Yeah, so we have a lot of articles and stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Absolutely. And finally, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on the old iTunes or find us on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music,
Stitcher,
fucking Podbean. No, I don't think we're on Podbean. I think, no, we are. I don't remember. Are we on Podbean? Podbean is kind of its own thing.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think it's kind of like Libsyn.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think it is like an RSS hosting or something.
Yeah, I think it's a host. I don't think they actually do like other things. So maybe we're not on Podbean, but I don't fucking know. We're everywhere.
By God, we should be.
We're on YouTube. So even if you just want to throw us up on the YouTube and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, we legitimately are everywhere.
Yeah,
you can find us.
You can listen to us fucking everywhere.
Just Google Dueling Ogres and we're there.
Yep. In fact, we will be the first thing that pops up when you roll out the Dueling Ogres. That's the SEO at work, baby. So until next week, Ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the SEO, baby.
That's the SEO, baby. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can always support us, too.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't done that in the past week or so. But if you want
No,
to...
you mentioned it last week.
No, I don't think I did.
The button at the bottom? Yeah, because you made a joke about buying me a new desk.
Oh, yeah. Well, buy Brandon that new desk. Leave that donations.
Yeah.
Leave them donations.
Leave them.
Leave them. Just $1.
Just
$1 a day.
$1 a day? So $30. $31.
For 10 cents a day, you can feed a poor podcaster. I need some fucking...
You need some calories.
Some calories? No, I need some... who's that chick who does the...
Sarah McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan.
McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan music in the background.
It's like you get choked halfway through saying her name.
Yeah, well, it's...
Sarah McLachlan.
That's how you do it. That's how you pronounce those names.
McLachlan.
McLachlan.
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah. In the arms of a podcast, you can listen to their words.
It's just pictures of us like looking at empty bowls of cereal and me sitting at a desk that's slightly too small, like the most first world bullshit. I'm just like,
It's just a half-eaten piece of bologna that we dug out of the trash.
No, see, I've got a full bologna sandwich, but I'm looking at an empty mustard container.
There you go. That's where it
I
is.
still have enough for sandwiches and stuff. It's just like,
It's just don't have anything to, moisten up the bread.
yeah. God, this bread's so dry.
It's so
slow
dry.
motion, black and white as I chewing.
Oh, yeah. All right, Brandon.
I'm leaving.
Get out of my house.
Goodbye.
I needed the thing.
Fucking slut. A dog with wheels for legs. Fascinating. Ouch mouse. Hygienic.
We haven't done hygienic. Can't use that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Nope. Can't say those things.
Oh, I didn't realize we were recording already.
Yeah, I started recording after you said whatever funny thing you said.
There's just so many.
There are. Man, I'm so excited.
When are you going to build it?
I don't know. I don't know when I have time. I never have time.
But there was time now.
But there was time now.
Oops. I kicked the microphone rim.
It's okay, Brandon.
Train. Meet Virginia. Yeah, yeah. That's Train Remington. Train sang that song. God, I used to love that song so much.
Yeah, I still do.
Meet Virginia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one. Definitely a good song. Me, Virginia. I can't wait to meet Virginia. Yeah.
I'd said that song was like a girl I had a crush on in junior high.
Oh, yeah?
That was my song for her.
Nice.
Her name was not Virginia.
No, it wasn't. Mine is, though. So, we sing it to each other. Daddy wrestles alligators. Mama works on carburetors. Brother is a fine mediator for the president.
So she's got a pretty affluent family.
Yeah, exactly. Here she is again on the phone, just like me, hates to be alone. Yeah.
I gun to my head, I don't think I could remember more than 5 words of that song anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know most. I just listened to it the other day, too.
On your Pandora station?
No, I think it came up on Pandora. Yeah.
I also enjoy She Likes Me for Me. I like that song a lot, too.
That one is actually a little out of my range.
He does sing pretty high.
Yeah, it is a little high. Hold on, let me tell this kid that I'm podcasting right now.
You should have told him that an hour and a half ago, Remington.
He wasn't messaging me an hour and a half ago.
You should have preemptively
I'm
told
getting
him.
ready to record my podcast right now, but I'll follow up, period. Unless you want to message Mediocre.
Who's that?
This is one of the kids that we recently added to the group.
Is it on Discord?
No, on Twitter. Oh, it's not going live, period. The podcast I record separately from my streaming at the moment. But if you want, you can listen to the previous episode on our YouTube. LOL.
I feel like you can't just say LOL.
YouTube.com/Dueling Ogres.
It's being disingenuous when you say LOL, but you didn't actually laugh out loud. I have you know, whenever I'm chatting with somebody and I type haha, I legitimately have laughed some. Even a chuckle. It's got to giggle out.
Most of the time I do. But sometimes it's an internal laugh. Like, I'm not straight up laughing out loud. So I guess it would be, but you don't use the acronym
Laughing
IL.
internally.
IL. Yeah. Or laughing internally, LI.
I feel like you've laughed out loud if you do an LMAO or sometimes an LOLOLOLOL.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I feel like you've actually laughed.
Yeah, no. Those are all lies.
What?
Your whole life is a lie.
What, everything?
Yes. Everything.
Is my
Everything.
pants lies?
Yes. You've been naked this whole time.
Good God.
My lord. I was wondering why I could never get the damn things off. It started to hurt when I did so.
I just been tugging and tugging
That's what she said.
at my pants.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Real fast. 1, 2, 3, go. Hello, Ogres, and welcome. Oh, you prick bastard. You did that on purpose.
Yeah, of course I did.
I
Absolutely, I did.
just want to be part of things. I love being a part of things. I don't feel like I'm in a good position. It looks like I'm looking at you weirdly.
You always look at me a little weird.
Is that a little better? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not straining as much. Okay.
Yeah, you were kind of turned to the side.
Well, straight turnt, dog. There we go. I like that a little better.
Yeah, you look more comfortable.
Yeah. I am, Brandon. I'm
Good.
glad that you care about my comfort.
Of course I do.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and collect your thoughts real quick. Let me get my mouth's getting dry.
Okay, I'm going to go pee real quick.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't had the obligatory Brandon pee break, so.
Nope. Brandon, pee now.
Brandon, go pee! There are a lot of really good science stories there, but we're already coming up on an hour and a half, and I think we've had some good conversation. I think it'd be a good place to end. So.
Yeah. I mean, we can do a science story if you want instead of this.
No, let's fuck it.
Let's fuck it.
No, I wanted to talk about this, especially since it's something that you brought up earlier on.
So I can lead in whenever.
Yeah. Can't believe you responded to him. God. But you should have been like, listen to the podcast for your answer.
He never replied back, did he?
Nope.
What a son of a bitch. He's a real so-and-so.
That was weak.
Yeah.
That was a little better. That was
That's
watery.
nothing. Yeah, that was like you were going to puke a little.